What if I told you, no one has ever made you angry, not once? And everything you've ever felt, every moment of anger, hurt, frustration, jealousy, was never truly caused by someone else, but quietly created within your own mind? It sounds uncomfortable, doesn't it? Maybe even wrong. Because when someone insults you, it feels like they caused your pain. When someone ignores you, it feels like they created your sadness. When someone disrespects you, it feels like they lit the fire inside your chest. It feels real, immediate, undeniable. But the Buddha taught something that goes beyond what we feel on the surface. He pointed to something deeper, something most people never stop to see. He taught that no one can place emotions inside you. They can only awaken what is already there. Pause for a moment, and really reflect on this. If someone speaks harshly to you in a language you do not understand, would you feel insulted? If someone shouted words filled with anger, but you had no idea what they meant, would your heart race? Would your chest tighten? No. Because there is no meaning inside your mind. And without meaning, there is no emotional reaction. Now imagine the same words, spoken in your own language. Suddenly, everything changes. Now you understand. Now your mind interprets. Now your body reacts. So what truly created the emotion? Was it the sound of the words? Or was it the meaning your mind attached to them? This is the doorway to understanding. Most people believe the world controls how they feel. They believe peace depends on others behaving the way they want. They believe happiness comes from controlling situations, people, and outcomes. But the truth is, the outside world is unstable. People change, situations shift, life moves in ways you cannot predict. If your peace depends on things you cannot control, then your peace will always be fragile. The Buddha saw this clearly. He saw that suffering does not come from events themselves, but from how the mind reacts to those events. He taught that between what happens and how you feel, there is a space. A small, almost invisible space. And within that space lies your freedom. Most people never notice this space, because their reactions are automatic. Something happens, and instantly, they react. Without awareness, without pause. It becomes a habit. But if you slow down, even just a little, you begin to see it. The moment before anger arises. The moment before you speak. The moment before you react. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can react unconsciously, or you can observe consciously. This is where your power begins. The Buddha compared the mind to water. When water is still, it reflects everything clearly. But when water is disturbed, it distorts everything it reflects. Your mind works the same way. When your mind is calm, you see situations as they are. But when your mind is filled with past pain, fear, or ego, you see the world through distortion. Someone speaks, and you hear more than their words. You hear your past experiences, your insecurities, your fears. And then, you react. Not to reality, but to your interpretation of it. This is why two people can experience the same situation, but feel completely different emotions. One feels deeply hurt. The other remains completely calm. One feels attacked. The other feels nothing at all. The difference is not the situation. The difference is the mind. So the next time you feel triggered, pause. Do not rush to respond. Do not immediately defend, argue, or react. Instead, gently turn your attention inward. Ask yourself, what is happening inside me right now? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it the need to be right? Is it the fear of being disrespected? Is it an old wound, being touched again? Because what you are feeling is not just about this moment. It is connected to your past. Every reaction you have carries layers of memory, layers of belief, layers of conditioning. The other person is only the trigger, but the emotion was already within you. And this realization is not meant to blame you. It is meant to free you. Because if others control your emotions, then you are powerless. But if your emotions arise within you, then you have the ability to understand them. And what you understand, you can transform. The Buddha did not teach us to suppress emotions. He did not say to ignore anger or pretend to be calm. He taught awareness. He taught us to observe, to watch emotions as they arise, without immediately reacting, to feel them without becoming them, to see them as temporary movements of the mind, like clouds passing through the sky. The sky does not fight the clouds. It does not chase them away. It does not hold on to them. It simply allows them to pass. Your mind can be like that sky, but only if you stop identifying with every thought. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that sees them. And once you realize this, everything begins to change. You stop saying, "They made me angry." And you begin to see, "Anger arose within me." You stop blaming others and start understanding yourself. And in that shift, you reclaim your power. Because now, your peace is no longer dependent on others. Now, you are not waiting for the world to change. Now, you are working with your own mind. At first, this may feel difficult, because the habit of reacting is deeply rooted. Your mind wants to defend. It wants to protect your identity. It wants to prove that you are right. But with practice, something beautiful happens. You begin to slow down. You begin to notice your reactions as they arise. You begin to create space between stimulus and response. And in that space, there is calm. There is clarity. There is freedom. Situations that once triggered you no longer have the same power. Not because they change, but because you change. You become less reactive and more aware, less controlled and more free. This does not mean life becomes perfect. People will still say things you don't like. Situations will still be difficult. Challenges will still arise. But inside, something is different. There is stability. There is peace. A peace that does not depend on conditions. A peace that remains, even when everything around you is chaotic. This is the kind of peace the Buddha spoke about. A peace that cannot be shaken by words. A peace that cannot be disturbed by others. Because it does not come from the outside. It comes from understanding, from awareness, from seeing clearly how the mind works. So the next time you feel triggered, remember this. Pause. Take a breath. And instead of looking outward, look inward. Observe what is happening inside you. Do not judge it. Do not fight it. Do not suppress it. Just observe. Because in that moment of awareness, you break the cycle. You step out of unconscious reaction and step into conscious presence. And slowly, with practice, you begin to experience something new. Freedom. Not freedom from the world, but freedom from being controlled by it. And once you experience this, you realize something profound. No one has ever truly controlled how you feel. They only revealed what was already within you. And once you understand this deeply, you stop giving others power over your inner state. You stop being easily triggered. You stop reacting to every situation. And you begin to live with awareness, with calm, with clarity. And in that state, there is a quiet strength. A strength that does not need to prove anything. A strength that does not react to everything. A strength that simply remains still, like a mountain in the middle of a storm. The winds may blow. The rain may fall. The thunder may roar. But the mountain does not move. And in the same way, you can remain still. Not because the world is calm, but because you understand your mind. And once you reach this understanding, no one can ever trigger you again.